right, everybody. It is. Oh gosh, that thing again. Sorry. All right, everybody. It is. What day is it? It's Friday night. So it is the first full day of winter, and we have a couple things to go over. First, a dense fog advisory that was just issued just a few moments ago, and also watching for our next storm system on the way. It's this big system right here that we currently see spinning out across the southern or the desert southwest, beginning to move to the east, bringing in quite a bit of snow across the southern Rockies and eventually rain into the southern plains. I'll get to that in just a second, but this hot off the press, if you did not watch our 9 o'clock newscast on MeTV, we had a dense fog advisory that was just issued for a good portion of the state. I mean, it's more like who's not in the dense fog advisory more than anything else. So Alva, Buffalo, Woodward, Guymon, and going into eastern Oklahoma, you're not in the dense fog advisory. So, let's see here. Let me show you some pictures we got. You can actually see some of that fog beginning to develop over Oklahoma City here. Hold on a second. Let me just hit that. Okay. Sorry. Had a spammer in here. I will kick out spammers real fast. So you can see that dense fog that is forming over Oklahoma City here. Kind of see that haze. Let me go into McLeod. Actually, it's a little bit thicker. Oh, or in this case, quite thick. It didn't look like this a couple minutes ago, but that's the current image right now from McLeod. So you can see there's like 3 Christmas trees. There they are. Okay. You got to look real closely. Or maybe there's 2 Christmas trees. Is it 3 or 2? Who drives by this every day? I know I have a camera right here that looks down at it, but I think there's 3, maybe 2. So anyways, got some dense fog out there. By the way, Katie, Elrod, the trip was phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. So it was great. Okay, so let me show you the latest rain timeline. We'll grab my clicker here because we have rain coming into western Oklahoma as we go into the afternoon. It's going to break up into 2 pieces here. So here we are tomorrow night. This has slowed down just a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit. So Woodward, Sealing, Clinton, Hinton, Hobart, some light rain coming in tomorrow night. Then we'll get another flare up as we go into early Sunday morning. That will move through Oklahoma City, up to Stillwater and into eastern Oklahoma, and then still going to have a couple kind of showers there popping up as you go into Sunday night if you're headed out for church service on Sunday night, Christmas Eve. And then it will begin to move out of here. We'll kind of go over some of the rain projections we have here. I'll show you some of the dirty model stuff, but for the most part, this is what we're looking at here, about 1 to 2 inches from Oklahoma City down towards Lawton up to Ponca City and to the east, and then about 1/4 to 1 inch for Enid, to Elk City, to Woodward, and down to Hollis. Dale says less than 1/4 mile visibility in south central Hughes County and Gertie. I believe it. Got that dense fog that is developing. So yeah, dense fog advisory in place. So let's see here. How much rain does the NAM drop in here? So there's the NAM model. So the NAM model says about 1 to 1.5 inches of rain from Lawton to OKC, Ponca City, and to the east. A little bit less out to the west. That's the NAM model. The GFS model, or actually, here's the Euro. What's the Euro say? The Euro, almost an inch, over an inch out to the east. A little bit less, about 1/2 inch, which, by the way, these are still numbers, good numbers. These are all great numbers. Remember, December is supposed to be the 3rd driest month of the entire year, so this is nice. The GFS, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch from Clinton to OKC. Stillwater, eastern Oklahoma, about 1 to 2.5 inches. And then I have one more model here. Where's my RPM? RPM goes wetter. Right now, this is the wettest model that I have. So, the storms will not be bad. There may be a little bit of lightning in there, maybe some gusty winds, but nothing that's going to be severe. Let me just double check one last thing, but I do believe the risk for severe weather tomorrow Yeah, we'll stay. The risk for severe weather tomorrow is going to stay out across the Texas Panhandle, western parts of Texas as well. You can see there, that's a marginal risk for Amarillo, Lubbock, but it does not come into Oklahoma. So there's an update on that. Where's this note I should have brought back? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. This is fun, though, by the way. Let me show you this. I do a time lapse. I always like watching the time lapse to see like how fast it takes for the fog to evaporate. And then, where's my time lapse? Time lapse, time lapse, time lapse. Where's my time lapse? I have so many files here, y'all. If y'all can see how many files I have, I really probably need a better job of organizing this. Okay, so that was this morning. Had the fog out there. This morning was just kind of dreary. And then all of a sudden, like we got a couple breaks. And as soon as you can get a break in the clouds, and just warm up a little bit, all of a sudden the fog can just evaporate and the low clouds can evaporate as well. And we saw that earlier, but now the fog is beginning to develop once again. So what time are we right here? This is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. First full day of winter, so I don't know if anyone enjoyed the extra second of daylight that we got, but we did get an extra second of daylight in there today. So Matt says, any ice in the future with cold fronts and rain? We'll go. Let me look at it. Let me pull up some of the long-range data that we have. I don't see any in the forecast anytime soon. Kind of cool to watch the fog begin to develop. Let me go ahead and pull up the GFS. The GFS model goes out the farthest. There is some colder air, by the way, coming. Let me just pop this up. I got a lot of messages on Facebook when people saw how warm it was yesterday and today and tomorrow, and they said, "Oh, it looks like winter's canceled." And it's like we're only 3 days into the season here, and a lot of people are thinking that winter's canceled. Now, I still think we're gonna have a more mild days and cold days, but we're still gonna have some cold days in here for sure. So, let me show you the latest long-range outlook here, because there has been some hint in the polar vortex getting a little weak and pushing down some pretty cold air, but we just don't know exactly where yet. Like, is it going to go in the United States, or will it go into, stay up in Canada? Will it go into Russia or Europe? So temperatures will be dropping. Here we are. We go below average with our temps for next week. It will be cold, like colder than normal, which, by the way, I mean, highs in the low to mid 40s. That's a big deal. So colder than normal. Looks like we're colder than normal for the second week of January. And then, man, it doesn't really look too cold, though. Looks like if there's any weakness in the polar vortex, it might clip into the northeast here. So, bottom line, we're going to have some cold days, but nothing that looks like it's going to be, like, extremely cold, like we typically see. So what does it mean? I think probably going into the beginning of January, we're going to have a lot of days like these. Highs in the low to mid 40s. But right now, I don't see anything that says our high temperatures are only going to be like in the teens and 20s. You know those days that I'm talking about when it's just like super duper cold? So, but it is chilly. It is chilly. So anyways, after the storm system is out of here, our next setup for moisture, may not have to wait too long, because here's the rain outlook for December 30th to January 5th. Another storm system drops in across the south, brings wetter than normal conditions into Oklahoma, probably more so into the new year. Right now, I think probably the New Year's Eve should be chilly and dry. Let's see here. Leonard says, Mom's iris still blooming. I do like purple, Kinsey, I do like purple ties. And as far as pregame shows, unlikely, mainly because those games are on ESPN. So, anyways, I will be here this weekend, though. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be here, so I'm working a bit of a stretch here. So, anyways, well, hey, if I don't get to talk to you all, though, before Christmas, I wish you all have a Merry Christmas. Much love to you all. Have a wonderful weekend. And I hope I see you on TV in a little bit or this weekend. Otherwise, I'll see you when you come back on. I know that the holidays are busy, always doing things, but I certainly do appreciate all of you. Have a good night.